So, so when we talk about the term, the mantra Chit Ananda, which is the most powerful possible way of expressing who you are. When we say you are that, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattam Asi, Anaul Haq, I'm son of God, all those terms are in the periphery. Chit Ananda is the deepest possible pearl you can pick.
That feels really nice. Yeah. You know, mantra is, I will credit mantra to saving my life a lot, because I was in a very dark space physically. I was very sick. And that's where I found mantra. I feel that a lot of my life has been spent working on this Vishuddha, right? The throat chakra.
Which is the most important chakra. That is Kali.
Yeah. Is it Kali?
It's Kali.
Oh, no wonder I've been hearing the Kali mantra so much lately. That makes sense. So it's interesting, because whenever I move into the space of powerlessness, where I don't feel, you know, because I believe powerlessness is when you don't feel as connected to God and spirit, right? My throat is the first place that it will show up, and my stomach, the two places, right?
So Manipura and throat. See, why do you think there is so much of imbalance happening in thyroid in females? Because they're so powerful as Devi, but they're controlling it here. Wow. They're not able to express their anger. They're not express their desire, their freedom. So they're stuck. So much happens in feminine space.
So beautiful.
So, a lot of throat chakra imbalance in feminine Shaktis.
A lot of the clients that I have will come and they're presenting with thyroid conditions, Hashimoto's and things like that. So it makes perfect sense. And what's interesting is what you said about the anger. I feel that a lot of the times as women, we're taught, as children, as little girls, we're taught to not express, you know, anger, to not be aggressive in any kind of way, you know, whereas for the boys, it's kind of the opposite. That we want the boys to be more aggressive or assertive. And so what do you say about that? Speak on that.
Well, when you start brainwashing children with such ideas, which they think will help this female survive in some family, I would rather say the pressure that is built up in this chakra is like that of a pressure cooker, and then there is no space for the steam to go out. So if you put this heavy weight of belief system that I should not express myself, people should communicate freely, so fearlessly, and be it mother to child, child to teacher, husband, wife. In this world, there's so much of fear out here.
So mantra, tell me about your own journey with mantra and how you've learned.
With mantra, let me teach you something, share with you something very powerful. There are three aspects: the Brahma, the Vishnu, the Maheshwara, which is three levels of awakening. The Brahma is grounding, earth. Vishnu is the air. Shiva is the ether. So let's go like this. So to be in the earth, you are just an animal. But when you just evolve and reach a mountain space, which is not still in earth, but you have taken a higher platform, that is called the Vishnu, where you're enjoying the Leela, not the Maya. Down there is Maya. There is ego, emotions. You are in a procreative space. You don't understand the creation. You think everything is about, grabbing. Everything is about surviving. Everything is about finding your place and protecting your beings. So when you are in the earth element, you are just an animal. None of your chakras work. But when you go a little ahead, the Kundalini start moving. So mantra, Tantra, and Yantra. There are three things. When I told you about Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, they are connecting you to mantra, Tantra, and Yantra. So mantra is basically for the heart chakra. Yeah. Yantra is the physical manifestation. So yantra can be any drawing. So let's put it this way. If you're building a house, you go and meet an architect, he gives you a drawing. But that doesn't mean the house is built. It gives you a visual idea. Oh, you will have 3-bedroom, I will have a kitchen. So the drawing that you see as Sri Yantra or Kali Yantra, Yoni Yantra, all the yantras are just two-dimensional drawing for which you have to build. You have to do sadhana. That drawing in itself is not enough. People can keep the drawing or tattoo the drawing. That is not going to help you. You need to go deeper into the awareness to unfold the 3-dimension to it. So you will start gaining certain wisdom to see how this building will be in 3D. You see virtual reality, you see 3D animation. So from yantra, you build a visual 3D, which is creating wisdom. Do I need this yantra? What is this yantra for? What is the purpose of this yantra? Each yantra has got a purpose. Though everything is called a drawing, but each drawing has a purpose. Some of them are built for offices, some of them are residences, some of them are for commercial purposes. So you have to decide, are these mantra going to help me personally, professionally, or in my living environment, in a collective consciousness? So most of the times you go, they will all have one certain design of yantra. Like for example, if you go to Sadhguru, you will see Linga Bhairavi. That's a yantra. Every female will be having it. So there will be collective consciousness of awakening within that feminine circle. Mm. If you go to Osho, Osho's picture is the yantra. He's reminding you, be yourself. You don't have to be anybody else. Osho is himself. So each and every sannyasi, yogi, guru, in the ancient part of India, they would give a yantra. Depending on your nature, your guna, which is Rajoguna, Tamoguna, or Satyaguna, which is your guna. Certain people you cannot force someone to become a vegan. They may have a craving for non-veg. They may have a craving for milk. You don't force. The whole concept of food, the whole concept of taking care of this body, people just go by what has been in the fashion. So somebody will be keto, or everybody wants to go to keto. That's not meant for you. You have to find your inner nature. That is where Sat, Chit, Ananda comes. What is the truthfulness, Sat? Your Chit, your soul, your prana desires Ananda, which will give you bliss. Satchit Ananda. So we have to start from Ananda. What will give me that bliss? Not happiness. Happiness is momentary. I will have it by buying a car. But by losing a car, having an accident in the car, I will have pain. So pain and pleasure happens in the happiness space. But if I look at my soul purpose, I have this infinite sitting inside this finite.
I'm just like writing stuff down, and it's funny because you're just reminding me of all the stuff that I learned in my yoga teacher training. You know, I have books and books and books that we were writing down this information, and I found it fascinating. And then sometimes it can just go right out your mind, and you come right back into the into the Brahma, right, into the earth. And you're just focusing on just, you know, and it's wonderful that you mentioned that, because I wanted to ask you about this. You know, I have some clients that I've worked with very much in the space of survival, right? Yeah. And I was speaking to them about safety and comfort and security, because if you don't have those three things, you can't get yourself you can't go anywhere in consciousness, right? Because you're just trying to survive.
You have knocked a very important point in light workers and common. Every individual is born Buddha, but you are craving for Siddhartha. When you become Siddhartha, The circle will take you down to Buddha. You are born enlightened, but you are craving for a home, for a family, for a job, for joy. So though you are born with everything, Sachidananda, your education, your family status, your circumstances start pouring so much of dust onto this Sachidananda Swarupa, your nature, and you start forgetting it, that I'm infinite. Then you become, oh, I only have momentary, like 80 years, 100 years, so let me do this, let me do this. So once he moves in, he's looking for financial achievement. That is where actually I keep guiding people. Abundance is only possible. Abundance is because everything belongs to you. But you don't believe it. You're only living as a small frog living in the well. You have no idea what is outside this well. Within this small well, you're trying to be a king. You're trying to be the boss. You're trying to be somebody. But if you start evolving, that is where in India, as your DNA comes from Kashmir Shaivism, and your great grandparents were from the most enlightened land, Kashmir, most enlightened land. Everyone used to be called as a Pandit. Pandit means the highly evolved, not just a surname.
That's why I have an ongoing joke that this is not my first time here. I've been here many times. So this is, I'm very clear that this is a lifetime of mine of consciousness service. I'm very clear of that.
The Sanskrit name for human being is Manav. Manav means Manava. Manava means not new. We are recycled. Blocks and cells with this infinite consciousness flowing through us in awareness, or sleeping in the Kundalini for knocking and waking us up one day. Everyone is in survival tactics. Everybody wants to just survive. They have been told to survive. Do you have enough? Have you made it large? So only when they start moving from the earth element of survival, you have the higher plane waiting for you. It's difficult. People don't like climbing up. It's better to jump into a well. It's easy. You can slip and you can fall. But to gain momentum from the mantra, from the yantra to mantra, means you are not going to get satisfied with elements, drawings. You want these drawings to become real. That is where mantra comes. Mantra is the way it's you and your infinite consciousness, which is godliness. Now you just leave everything into this godliness. It will keep doing it as and when required, as per your chart of birth. Even if you sit just do nothing, it will take care of you, but the menu is limited. It is based on your birth sign. It's based on your time of birth, place of birth, locality. You will be surviving because that infinite consciousness knows how to survive. But if you create this awareness up you and then connect with this and bring it down to this root chakra, which is where the Kundalini is, then whatever you manifest will also be provided.
And what do you say for the people who have the opposite problem? Because sometimes I've had the opposite problem in my life, where it's very easy for me to exist in the third eye, in the crown, up in these spaces. I said to my daughters this morning, my daughter said something to me about, well, are you going to meditate today? So I said, if I meditate today, I will be so far in the ethers that nobody's going to be able to bring me down. So there's definitely times in my life when I know I have to do all of this work to get back inside my body because it's easier to escape. What do you say to people, people like that?
Once, see, these are three chakras. I told you about the ground, the love, and the ether. The mantra gives you a space and time where your primary focus is on the drawing, which is yantra. You're going on every time from the mantra. Oh, I did my 101.8 chanting. Let me see if something is going to be manifested. So you come back whereas people like you and me and those who are ready to, like helium balloons, we go straight up.
I don't think I get to the mountain. I think I just go straight into the.
That's because Tantra means weaving. It start weaving. It start building the blocks. The mantra gives you resources, finances, possibilities, and awareness how to build it. But the weaving of fabric happens in Tantra. That is happening in this.
Up here. Yeah.
There, you are, as you are a manav, not new, you will have all your recollections from your earlier births, and you will complete that assignment. Look how we were disconnected. When I was in South Africa, I met so many Indians who, for hundreds of years, they knew how to go back to India because they knew that they came from India, but there was no communication, there was no postal, there was nothing. They didn't know how to read and write. Today, just WhatsApp call. They can find even the Google map, find where their parents are from. If they have a surname called Gaya, they know that they're coming from a place in Bihar. So we have developed a technical advancement in awareness through Google. So the same way, we will definitely find ways to go back to our roots. We will have this beautiful space anytime if we stop being greedy. Even the scientist is greedy. Even the one who was trying to find it. Nobody in India has taken the claim for first plastic surgery, first mathematician, first cos, because it was, most of the ancient books, they don't have a name of the author. That transparent paper. Upanishads, none of the Upanishads says who wrote it.
Because it wasn't about that.
Even Vedas, we just put some name for the sake of it. And otherwise we say Ganesha wrote it. Because that's a way to conclude. But to be very frank, if you do something for the planet, Earth as a whole, then you are not taking credit because the car you're driving is not manufactured by you. The cup that you're holding, your tea, is not manufactured by you. The table, the chair, this phone, this technology, we are just witnessing. Who owns it all? But we have this copy protection. Oh, this is mine. Where did it came from? Pulp. What was it? It was a tree. Who planted it? I don't know. Just because I'm holding it, just because I'm holding this beautiful, precious life, I feel I'm authoritative and I can climb. So somewhere 5,000 years back, our ancestors decided to be slaves again. We were born Buddhas, Shivas, Shaktis. We decided to be in the bondage. You understand? We want beautiful golden chain, but it has become our own, because the heaviness of our responsibilities, our achievements have started bringing us so down, we can't climb any further. Imagine you're having 500 kilos of weight in your baggage. How will you climb the next step?
And Americans are very, as a transplant to America, I came here in 2000, and it was actually 1999 December. I got to see how my idea of what America was like versus what actually America was like. I came right in a time when I was able to chameleon myself, which is why I have my American accent now. I have my American car that's really American, that's built in Korea, whatever. But the point is, the Americans now, might, as a world power, might have more freedom or luxury to participate in spiritual enlightenment. However, the bondage that the Americans have enslaved ourselves into with the space of capitalism, and there's so much depression here, anxiety, very high stress, and more than anywhere else in the world. And that's why I always say, when there's a difference between money and abundance is a frequency, right? But when you're focusing just on physically accumulating money or physically accumulating things, material possessions, then how are you going to climb to this mountain that you're talking about? You've got so much stuff on your back, you're not gonna make your way up.
So true. When I go to the Western world, they keep asking me, "You are coming from India. Indians are so awakened. What is the secret?" So I keep telling them, we are in a mess, but we know the order. I give them the example. In India, if you go for a marriage, the food is served all in one in the plate or in a banana leaf. So we'll have curries, sweets, rice, rotis, everything in one space, and you can start. I said, in the Western world, you are enslaved by a system where you have to wait for the soup to finish so that they come and take the order for the main course. And somebody else is controlling you. Whereas in India, we may be in a mess of 30 dishes, but we have the choice to choose and freedom to eat only what we want and throw what we don't want.
Right.
Life should be like, it is not about being educated. It is not being rich. It is not being top of the world. It is about finding your lotus in the dirt. Growing your flower from the so-called mess. Because we are basically, with all these thoughts, we're in a mess. But how to sprout your lotus and resurface it until you see the sun. And you float. You float in
Om Mani Padme Hum, right? Om Mani Padme Hum.
That is the right Om Mani Padme.
And there's a book by the Buddhist monk that I love to read. It's called No Mud, No Lotus. And he talks about how the mud is, and that's what you're saying, the mess, is the journey. That lotus is not growing, it's not going to bloom without the mud underneath it.
Yes, the journey is definitely from Muladhara, which is mud. But there is so much of fertilizer there. From there, you have to grow up. From there, you have to slowly, you are still in the middle of an ocean of awareness. And if you don't resurface, there are chances that you may end up being in the chaos of Maya. So you have to keep growing. And once you reset, you are in the surface, wait for the sun, the Shiva, and bloom.
You know what I love about it too is when you're in the middle of the mud, you might not know if there's ever going to be any sun, right? I mean, you're there thinking, where am I? What is going on? But that's when faith steps in. You have to have faith in something. You can call it, and in different parts of the world, call it different things.
Important as a tool. See, you've seen the garlands in India we use for gods and goddesses. It has a thread. Faith is the thread. You don't see the thread. The flower, you see the flowers, but without that thread, it will not, because we are using our mind. And mind, unless and until there is a trust and belief factor comes in as bhakti, it will not work. Because you can't weave without a thread. You have everything. You have the needle, you have the thread, but you don't know how to do it. So that is where a guru comes in. That is where you and me comes in. That is where we help human beings, to make their journey easy. through certain methods. It could be mantra, it could be tantra, it could be, the basic drawing of yantra.
And it's always wonderful to have somebody to show you a mirror or to help you look to a little bit deeper, isn't it? I mean, we can't look ourselves. I'm just here on my eyes and I'm out into the world.
And I'm seeing unless somebody holds a mirror in front of me and say, look, because everyone is projecting themselves to the world, not knowing that, and all the complaints that, the world is like this, people are like this, you are projecting yourself. You are the projector. If you need to do something, clean up your projector first. Change the graphics in it, change the content in it, change your belief system, and start working out. I'll tell you a beautiful story of a king who was diagnosed with a rare disease that he cannot see any red color. If he see red color, he will die. So the doctor said, the Vaidya said, King, you cannot see anything in red. He said, oh my God, my wife loves red sari. I love red curries. My palace is painted with, red color. There are red flowers. But he said, you cannot see them all. So he started instructing people in the palace, change the colors. 1 year passed. There was a saint, a mystic saint who walked by the kingdom, got to know about the king's disease, and he said, I'll resolve your problem without even changing anything outside. He said, how is it possible? The saint was wearing a red dress. He said, can I come in? He said, no, if I see, I'll die. He said, I'm sending you one set of glass, which is in green color. Put it on and see the world. You will not see red color at all. We need to change certain frames here. Sometimes this one is coming from a belief system, our upbringing, our socio-economic, the country that we live in, the books that we read. This is going to change. This color, if it is yellow, I'm going to see the whole world in yellow. So sometimes we need to clean it.
Right. Sometimes you need somebody else to give you a whole new pair of glasses, right?
It brings a mirror and say, oh, this is so much of stain. I need to clean it. That is where meditation comes in. Meditation is just cleaning just settling down all your thoughts. It's from morning till evening, physical, mental, emotional, all these torments are creating so much of waves in the surface of the ocean that you can't see what is in deep. You are trying to pick the pearl, but you can't see anything. It's so dirty. So let it. The meditation is like settling down all the dust particle. Then you look deep into yourself and say, "Oh, there's a pearl there. There's a ring that I found I lost. Oh, that's something that I thought I lost. It's deep there. Go deep, pick it, celebrate, be the dance."
So beautiful. For what I've been doing on my podcast lately, and I want to take a moment right at the end here for you to let people know how to get in touch with you and follow you and everything. But what I've been doing is I've been pulling an oracle card during our calls, during our podcasts, to see if Spirit wants us to go any bit deeper on our conversation. And the card I pulled for us says, all paths lead home. All paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. I mean,
Bliss.
I couldn't make that up, right? Sat Chit Ananda. I mean, it's just
Beautiful conversation. We didn't have an agenda. We didn't know what we are going to speak about. And existence has given us the most profound mantra, Chit Ananda.
It's because God leads all conversation, isn't it? And at the end of the day, we this conversation about going within is very, very powerful, because it's just so easy to focus outward and to attach your level of success or fortune or wealth or whatever it might be to something outside of yourself, when the wealth is inside, the infinite possibilities, the infinite abundance inside. Happiness inside.
Treasure hunting for a certain size of treasure, whereas inside, if you open this cave, it's filled with treasures that you will not be able to uh, utilize and enjoy in a lifetime. That amount of abundance is within.
I love it. So how can we get in touch with you? Happiness
Uh,
Guru, he reached out to me, and this has been such an amazing, we've been chatting on WhatsApp and, Facebook, and there's just so much. So how can people learn about you?
First and foremost, I love this conversation. We are going to do much more. We're going to do regular podcasts, and I want people to come into this space where we both can be connected. That's going to be amazing. I also have a website where my upcoming programs, retreats are posted. Actually, post-COVID, I'm starting again from probably March. I'm doing a retreat in India, but I do retreats all over the world. I've been to US many times, Canada many times. I love driving in US because everyone loves the rules of the road. Yeah.
Well, at least we have good roads here. Yeah.
Technology, I love the achievement. I should say the East and West should marry. The abundance and wisdom should marry.
Right.
So that we have this virtue of living this moment. So people can actually visit my web page, which is Happiness Guru, HAPPINESSGURU.GURU, not com, not info.
Oh, .guru, I like it.
Guru. So happinessguru.guru is a great place to come and interact with me. There's an email option where you can write. Also, Happiness Guru, I have a Facebook page, which is Happiness Guru. I just want to tell everyone that we are missing the Ananda. Though I'm calling myself an Happiness Guru, happiness is momentary. Keep seeking Ananda. Only reaching happiness, you can go to the next level. So I'm just helping people to move from their so-called worries and stress, come into the space of happiness, live this beautiful Maya and Leela, and then be ready for backpack, go up to the Himalayas and be in the Ananda. Once you come back from the pinnacle to the valley, you will be untouched by pain or pleasure.
I love it. What a beautiful way to end this conversation. Thank you so much. Namaste. I really appreciate this. This has been beautiful, and I can't wait to do more stuff with you.
I've seen your page, I've seen your website, and I've seen the kind of seva, I would call it seva, not retreats. The amount of contribution that you're doing to awaken the feminine Shakti.
That's my big passion right now.
I should give credit to your forefathers, for Pandits, and please make time and space for us to create a retreat somewhere in India, probably in Kashmir, probably in Russia.
Yeah.
Let everyone come and join and be in the land of healing, which is India.
It's time. It's time. I'm being called there. So there's just no coincidences. All right. Thanks. Until next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.